Homestead. How are you all today? All well, I hope. Well, it's such a beautiful day outside today. I thought we would do some planting out in the garden. Now, this is the first of the gardening in the new homestead. It won't be in the garden beds or anything like that because I haven't made them yet. So what I'm doing is taking advantage of a small space that I have near the front gate. I have a huge big old iron plant stand that I brought from the old homestead, and I'm going to be planting a few things in there, some herbs mainly, and maybe some onions. Anyway, what are we going to be planting? Well, I have some common rosemary. Always like this stuff for cooking and for its aromatics, and for its medicinal herbs as well. Then we have parsley. No, this one's coriander. So coriander or cilantro to some people is always handy in the kitchen. Then we have oregano. Oregano's always used in the kitchen. This one is a hot and spicy. I didn't know it was hot and spicy. I'll have to see whether I keep it or not. I'm not really into spice. It's got a few weeds in here we'll take out before they take off. Let's see. It's got a bit of heat to it too. It's actually got quite a nice flavour too. Not as much heat as I can't stand, but a little bit would be nice actually. What I also have is just a common mint. I love this stuff. Oh, go past and brush it, and oh, the smell. Beautiful. Also I like to make a nice herbal tea sometimes in the morning. It really freshens you up. Now we also have parsley. Now this is the curly leaf parsley. So this I'm always using in the kitchen, so I need some fairly handy. And some thyme. Just some common thyme. Once again, give it a little brush. It's not as good as mint, but not too bad. So these I'll be planting up into, where are we? I'll get it in a minute, into the long trays. What I use in the cat litter boxes is it's sort of like a very compressed wood pellet that once water or fluid hits it, it can bulk out quite substantially. And I thought some of those might go well in with my potting mix, to make it bulk up a bit more, last a bit longer. Also to retain moisture. Yes, I know sometimes it will rob the soil of nitrogen, but I have quite a lot of a nitrogen-based fertiliser that I can give the plants once a fortnight. So long as you're replacing any nitrogen that is possibly robbed out of the soil, it's fine, it's not too bad. Also, what I have is a whole heap of bulbs. Now, I went down to my local Bunnings a few days ago and they had some beautiful daffodil bulbs on sale. So I bought not one, not two, but three. Big bags of bulbs. Now the white ones I've got for another part of the garden that I'm going to be planting up. Around the weeping mulberry, I've decided to keep that tree for now. So what I'm going to do is put in one of those round garden beds around the base of it, fill it up with horse poo and compost, and plant it up with bulbs such as the white jonquils. These are the double jonquils, so they'll be nice. But I also have not one, not two, not three, but four hyacinth. So I thought they're all different colours. So I thought in between the jonquils and the hyacinth around the base of that tree would be really pretty in the springtime. It would also help, hopefully, a lot of the bees. So I'll just put that back in there. Now also, I have a big pot of bulbs from the old homestead. So these will also be scattered in these bulbs, and these will be planted out the front and around the garden. And springtime is just going to be a huge big carpet of daffodils and jonquils in amongst the trees that I have. It'll be lovely. But not only do I have the daffodils, I also have the gladiolas, somewhere down there, and somewhere in here I also have my blood red dahlia and some the dahlia, the lilies. I have a whole heap of lilies, and the daylilies as well. Somewhere there, somewhere. I've got to find them. So that's what we're going to be planting out. Now I will show you where I'm going to be planting them. Well, I'm out in the front yard, and this is the spot where I plan on putting my gladiola bulbs, all along this strip right there. And as you see, I've got some weeding of the lawn to do. A lot of that grass is coming up, so it all needs to be pulled out. And over here, where the palm tree is that's coming out soon, is a nice big island area where I plan on putting quite a lot of daffodil bulbs and jonquil bulbs, and all under those trees over there, which are the ornamental pear, I think they are. And all the way out here to the letterbox, especially all along the front there, and in this area here. I think they'll be really, really pretty. And I've got some extra stepping stones too that needs to be put in. So just there is where I'm going to start. These are the troughs that I'm going to be using. These are what I had at the old homestead. I have cleaned them out, and the compost that I'm using is just the Garden Basics organic compost from my local Bunnings. So I will now mix up some of the pellets with the compost, and we'll get planting. Okay, I've managed to fill a few. So these are the troughs that I was talking about, and they're all filled up to probably about 3/4 full. Now, I thought we would start with some parsley. So, let's see, I'll just pop it out. And break it up into sections. Now I've let these dry out a little bit. It's always best to let them dry out a little bit before planting. Just make a hole and tuck him in. And then you water well once they're all put to bed. And there we go. Pop in the label. First one down. Now the next one, I think we'll go with the common thyme. I'll just break this up into two because it will spread. On there. And that one there. Go. Number two down. Number three. Let's see. Coriander. That will get quite tall. The oregano. I think I'll put the oregano in here. I'll put the coriander at the other side, because when the coriander's finished, that will leave room for the oregano to spread and take over the whole container. This one's a bit root bound. I'll just tease him out a little bit. And tuck him in. Number 3 down. Now it's time for the mint. This one will take over this whole bed. So I plan on putting the parsley in its own container anyway. There's some good root growth on this one. Look at that. Beautiful. Now there's not a great deal of mix in here, so I'll top up with some more potting mix with this one. Just have to open the bag. And there we go, number 4 down. Okay, so now last year we planted some onions together. With all the packing and the moving and everything else, I never got to put them out in the garden. So I have these Gladolin white onions. Now they're only tiny little bulblets. They may not do any good. I probably won't get them to the size they should be, but I'm sure I will get something edible out of it. So I'm just going to give them a haircut. I'll keep that. That will make good chives or whatever for cooking. And I'm just going to plant the bulbs in here. As I said, they may do alright, they may not. But if I don't put them in, I'll get nothing. So, I'll just tease out the bulb. Onions are pretty good, they're very forgiving. And stick it in. Just whack it in. Make sure they've got good spacing. Give them plenty of room to grow. I'm mainly picking out the larger bulbs at the moment. The smaller ones I can put round in pots or whatever around the yard. I'll see what I've got left over. That's one. Shush up, Barney. No, not coming out. Barney does not like being cooped up very much. And I just can't afford just yet to get him the bigger cage. But it will happen. He just has to wait. Just stick them in with a dibber. Much easier this way than my fingers. As I said, onions are very forgiving. Alright, so that's that one done. Now I have this one. This one is the brown onion. Once again, I'm just going to chop all this loose stuff off the top. Give them all a nice haircut. Wow, there's heaps in here. I've only got one pot left. You know what? I'm just going to spread them out, throw some compost on the top. What survives, survives. There we go. Labels back on. Now I'll stick them on the shelf and give them a water in. So here I have a nice big pot that I've 3/4 filled with compost, and we're going to repot the rosemary. So I'll just take out the label. Loosen it off the roots. There we go. We've got quite a good root structure in there. So we'll tickle it out the bottom roots, maybe some of the sides as well. It's just starting to go round and round in the pot. Put him in and grab some fresh compost. Push him down nice and firmly. And label it. Now I'll find somewhere on my little stand for this guy as well. Well, that's it for the replanting today. And I think I'll sort out those daffodil bulbs and we'll get to planting those. So here, over near the door, is where my reverse cycle heating unit is. And this is where the plant stand is. Now I've cleaned down 2 shelves of it, and that's where I'm going to put the troughs of the herbs and vegetables. Now this can be moved around the yard if need be, but at the moment, underneath the shade cloth, up against the wall, it's a nice warm sheltered spot. It should be ideal. We'll wait and see. Well, here we are on the stand, as you can see. Now I've left a bit of space here because I plan on getting some more of these and planting up my herbs in it. So we'll just give them all a little drink. Right, I'll continue on with that because this watering can is heavy and it's nearly impossible one-handed. And there we go, all nicely watered in. And they should grow quite well here. Right, now to sort out the bulbs. Well, it's a few days later, actually probably nearly a week, and I've been down to Bunnings again, and I've picked up another 4 of the little tubs or troughs to put on my plant stand, and I've been through a few of my seeds and see what I can plant now. While I was at Bunnings, I picked up another little tub of starts, and this one is silver beet. Now it's the rainbow silver beet, and it has the yellow and the red and the white, so it will be a nice ornamental plant as well as a very delicious edible plant. And I have one more of these large troughs left, so this is what I'm going to plant the silver beet into. So let's get you set up. There we go. So I'm just going to pop all these out. I've got the tub already filled up with potting soil, and we'll just place these out where we want them. I think 6 to a tray is going to be plenty. So we'll grow quite large, and I'll just tuck them into the soil. The compost is damp, but it's not wet by any means. Looks a bit sparse now, but later on that will be absolutely full. Now I've got a little bit, ooh, that's heavy, got a little bit of compost left, so I'm just going to sprinkle around these plants with the compost. Just give them a little bit of extra. Now the potting mix that I got, it has both soil wetter and food in it. So this should do them for quite some time. Especially it will give them a good start. The potting mix is just basically a cheap potting mix that I picked up from Cheapest Chips. I picked it up for 3 bags for $14. So I thought, well, I can't go past that. There we go. And of course, don't forget our tag. And this trough is one of those self-waterers, so I won't even have to water it as often. I'll water that in when I'm done. Now, with the 4 waterers that I picked up, not waterers, with the 4 troughs that I picked up. They are also self-waterers, so, which is good, because I do forget to water. Oh, this seat's uncomfortable. Okay, so what I thought I'd plant in these ones, I've got some Chinese cabbage, because over the winter time I'm probably going to be cooking quite a few stir fries. So Chinese cabbage, some spring onion. Now I've got the all year spring onion. The Chinese cabbage are my own seeds from 2016. The spring onion. What else have I got in there? And the long red Florence. And I've got some others in here somewhere. What's that? Red shallot. My own spring onion. But I want to go through that packet. And that's spring onion. And I dropped something down there. I'll find it later. So I think what I will do, I'll leave the ones that I grew. One's from 2019, one's from 2020. And this spring onion packet I've had for too long. Probably about 2016, so if they come up, they come up. If not, I've got more. Then I've also got some Viking spinach. And some red pak choi. So I'll do onions in one, Chinese cabbage in another, pak choi in one and spinach in another, and that will be the 4 containers spoken for. Right, well, let's start with the spring onion. Oh, there's quite a lot in there still. But I want them gone, really, because I've got that other packet of spring onions that, and these just last for so long, years. Because all I do, instead of pulling them out, all I do is cut them off just above ground level and they grow again. So I'm going to do half of this in the spring onion. I'll thin this out as they go, and I'll use them in cooking and salads and stuff like that till I get the amount that I really want in there. There we go. And on the other side, I'm going to put in the long red Florence, which is basically just a red stemmed spring onion. once again, I'm going to sow them very thickly, and I will thin out as needed later on. I'll just pat them down, make sure they've got good soil contact. And once again, I'll just top over the top with a little bit of this compost. Not very thickly, just a very thin layer. You want them just lightly covered. Just so they don't have to push very hard to get out. Once again, pat them into bed. Now I'm going to use the packet as my label for the moment till I can get me some labels. I have got plenty actually, I just got to find them. So, cover it up. There we go. That's so we know that there's something actually in there. This one. Right, next. Now, this one here, I'll pat down just like before, and we'll put in the Chinese cabbage. And once again, I'm going to use all of this seed because it's getting a bit old and it needs to go. I'll get next year's seed out of this lot. I'll let one of these plants go to seed and I'll have a whole bunch of seed for the next few years. Now, a little bit of compost. Just sprinkle it over the top, cover the seeds. Not by much. And pat it down. Now, I've got no label for this one. Right. This one here, I think we'll do the pak choi. And I'll use the packet as the label. So do you save your own seeds? Let me know in the comments down below. found it very, very handy when we had that big seed shortage. I had all my own seeds. I didn't need to buy any. So when everybody was running out, I was actually giving them away. There we go. Sometimes the crazy prepper lady comes in handy. Now for the spinach. Right, so we'll just put a little bit of compost on top of that. And there we go, all planted up. Now I'll find somewhere on that shelf for all these troughs, give it a water in, and it'll be right over winter, so long as I can remember to keep them watered. Well, I got a few more done, some there just in front of that bush there and some just there. I've saved a bucket full for in the centre over there, and I'll put them in after the tree's been taken down this Friday. So more to go in. Well, I think I'm going to cut this video here. I hope you enjoyed the day out planting and planting bulbs and pulling some weeds and planting some plants. It did take nearly a week, and I'm feeling the effects now, I can tell you that. Getting old is no fun. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. And if you're not subscribed, think about subscribing. That would help my channel out tremendously, and I can bring you some more content. Alright, well that's it for this week, guys, and I will see you very shortly with an upcoming video on getting the floors all done very soon. Alright, bye for now. See ya.